I don't have a fuzzy fart. Did I lose it out there? Oh, I dropped it. No bad. Looks like a hamster. There you go. I'm sorry I broke it. This one's working. Let's try this again. Ready? Take two. Action. Hi there. Welcome to another one of your FRANK26 UB2Bs. It's good to be with you. It is the 17th, I believe, right? The 17th of July, 2025. I greet you in agape love. We are KTFA. We are KTFalways.com. We're a Christian-based organization. It stands for Keep the Faith Always. Keep the Faith Always. And our Heavenly Father, I want to thank our Pastor Kendall and all those that joined us for our Bible study that we have every Thursday night. I welcome you to come. I invite you to come to our Bible study. I invite you to come to our Faith Church services at 5 o'clock on Sundays with Pastor Kendall. Because now you can never tell God that you were never invited to study His Word. Let's pray because I think we need it for tonight. We need it all the time. What am I saying? Abba, Father, I am with you again by the blood of your Son through the Holy Spirit. Thank you for this ability to be next to you. My sins don't allow that in any other way. The blood of Jesus cleanses me. It forgives me. It comforts me. It saves me. And I thank you, God, because it's not easy. It is not easy. Ask your son. Ask your son. It's not easy to deal with the temptations of this world. I'm not talking about temptations of a pretty girl or money. I'm talking about temptations of just being patient, of just being good, of just being loving, of just being understanding, of just being helpful, of just being quiet. These are attributes that I fail in constantly, Father, and I ask for you to help me. Help me. I pray for those that are with us. I pray for our KTFA staff that helps us in so many ways. I pray for our teams that I'm so grateful to them. Thank you. Take care of Eddie and his families. Take care of Iraqi and what he's going through. Take care of Walking Stick. Thank you. You've extended his life through KTFA. I find that interesting. He came to us to help us before he got sick. And while he was with us, he got violently sick. And now we help him to stay alive. I like that. I like that. Because it's much, much better to give than to receive. And I pray that, Father, that we can give as much as we can when this blessing comes. And I pray for those that don't understand what they're doing. They truly don't know that they're waiting for them. They don't understand what's out there. They don't understand the definition of lottery winners. I pray that they're in love with you, Father, and not in love with this money. It is in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the Holy Spirit, that I pray for guidance tonight. Amen. 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 Well, family, we're here to study the Iraqi to know everything that I say to you is just strictly my opinion. How do you like my red shirt? Like my red shirt, Tink?
It's pretty.
It's pretty, huh? It's pretty. Um, Either I'm colorblind or my opinion doesn't add up to much of anything, right? That's my point. Now let's get studying with that in mind. That everything I say to you is just strictly my opinion. And when we're done with this study, take it to God in prayer. Please help me to continue to help you. Now, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to share with you. I'm going to give you two bank stories. Would you like that? I'm going to give you two bank stories. But before we do, let me deal with something that I want to nip it in the butt right now before it gets any further, and also so that people don't, just stop sending me this. Now, what we have here is a picture. This individual is spreading it throughout the internet. And if you don't have this, thank God. If you do have this, stop sending it to me. I don't know who this individual is. I don't care. He's not my team. I wish him well. But he's telling you that, hey, it's happening, guys. It's happening. I'm not even going to say the name of this individual because I don't want to promote him. But he's showing and going around showing this here. Yeah. So you can see the 200 on it. You can see all the colors on it. Oh, nice. Hey, guys, it's happening. Oh, yeah, the Iraqi did a look out, look out. How many times do I tell you, be careful who you study with? Now, I know who put this information out, and once again, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised. Here's one more. All right, so now that you have this data, now that you have this information, oh, by the way, check this out. I remember I did a scuba dive outside of Waikiki one time. Outside of Waikiki, it was about 110 feet, and we spotted a great white shark. Well, guess what? They just spotted a great white shark yesterday, right at the pier. Right at the pier. Guess where we're at? Uh huh. Let's see if we can find this guy. But enough of that. What was I saying? Yeah, be careful who you study with because once again, people just want to be champions of intel. Here, this picture, I'm going to blow it up for you. Here, watch. Do you see? I believe there's a British flag, a Brazilian flag, a German flag. Family, this is not an Iraqi dinar, and it's not happening, guys. Well, actually, it is happening, but not with this garbage. What this is a. Thanks. Roger, thank you, sir. I'm going to call you right now.
Aloha, General from Florida.
Hey, Roger, hold on just a second. Family, what that picture was that I showed you, that 200 note, I don't want you to get too excited if other people are trying to convince you. What that is a BRICS note. All you have to do is look at the flags on it. That's a 200 BRICS note, which, by the way, won't exist much longer. Now, I know the people that criticize me and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, the BRICS. Okay, but I promise you, these bricks cannot even build the foundation for what they're trying to do. The bricks are going to be dismantled. You watch. And I hope I'm nowhere near you when you read about that in the news. I hope I'm long gone out of your lives by then. But in the meantime, what I have, family, is a follow up. This is good information about a bank story. This is my dear brother in Christ, a friend of mine. And hey, George.
Yes, sir.
So you had a follow up, right?
Yes, I sure did. Mission Impossible. You put me on another task, and I did a follow up on a follow up, and quite revealing.
I tell you what, I'm just going to hush up. Share with the family what's happening with this follow up, okay? Because either they called you, I think. Go ahead, tell me. And the banks, and you're in Florida, and this is Chase. Go ahead.
That is correct. Yes, sir. Like about 3 weeks ago, I had reported back to you about what was happening with J.P. Morgan and my Chase contacts.
Go ahead.
Change even in their dialogues. Now they're using the word at Chase is they've acknowledged the. Let me explain this situation to the family. Yes, they have acknowledged there is activity with the Iraqi dinar. Now,
That's really
as of
encouraging.
yesterday,
That's really encouraging, George. They acknowledge his activity with the Iraqi dinar. All righty,
now
continue.
yesterday,
Uh huh.
well, let me set the story up correct for you, so I'm not ahead of myself. You sent me to do a follow up. I did the follow up, and then I got Friday, I got an email, and then Monday, I got an email and a text from JP Morgan.
Right.
Existing client. They know the wherewithal of everybody in this country. If you have banking accounts with any other bank, they know what it is because they have the right.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, they can pull up your asset base.
I know. I've been teaching this.
Yes, everything you're saying, they know more about you than you know about yourself. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay, so my contact at Chase, he talks very freely with me now with the Vietnamese dong because one family, you have to remember the Vietnamese dong is already a sanctioned sovereign, not sanctioned, excuse me, a sovereign currency that is traded on Forex.
Right.
That's just like our dollar bill. Now, they can talk about that. However, to a certain point of what's happening. They're using a word now that's just happened. I followed up again yesterday, Frank, and they use the words now when it concerns the dinar, the Vietnamese dong, and now I followed up again after I talked to you earlier, sir, the Indonesian rupiah, because that is a currency that is already sovereign and is being traded on Forex.
Also, what did Trump say about that?
Okay, here we go. A couple days ago, President Trump had one of the government officials of one of the sovereign Muslim nations in the White House dealing and talking about trade and tariffs. They're working out a deal amongst that country. Right. I can't remember the name of that one, but during the conference, the press people were hounding him about things off subject, and one brought up tariffs. Trump then said, and a lot of you probably saw this, you can go on Google and pull up the briefing from the Oval Office, that is, the White House, about Trump's meeting. He said, and by the way, we are about ready to announce a great deal in commerce, trade, and tariff agreement with Indonesia. Now, that's been a sleeper, but Trump is no dummy. The Indonesian rupiah is a big deal in the Pacific Rim when it comes to textile and a lot of clothes and a lot of minerals. They're just like Vietnam, not as strong, but they're very important. Yeah. And Trump is wheeling and dealing, and he's doing a great job. Okay, so saying all that, if they're doing a trade deal and a tariff deal, I can guarantee you, in my opinion, I wonder where I heard that word before, General, that they're not, because Trump wants everybody to play fair on an even playing field with the U.S. dollar and their currencies. And I'll leave that at that. So yes. Think about it and do your research, just like Vietnam. Okay, going back to Chase, I got that email, should be now, from JP Morgan, and had a phone number, and this is already with established clients, which I am with them, and with your individual asset-based liquidity and what you have. They know all the numbers. They offer certain things to certain people at different financial grade levels.
Yes.
Okay. This text that I got was a special invite with another or an additional minimum 100,000 deposit for this other grouping. Okay. And if you don't mind, General, let me read what I took my notes here. So I have this in context for the family.
Please take your time. By the way, this is interesting because I think it was 3 UB2Bs ago, George, I said on our UB2B that Trump pulled a fast one on my teams. It was in February that we realized what he was doing, and we scratched our heads and we said, is there a GCR? No, there can't be a GCR. Mathematically, no, can't. Okay, but something's happening with a lot of currencies because of these tariffs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is surprising. We were just focusing on these two. That's why you're only supposed to, or that's why you sell only the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong, right? Yeah. So what's going on? And the next thing we know, we are forced to study all the Vietnam. Now I'm introducing the Indonesian rupiah with you. We have no choice but to look at what Trump is doing. He's leaving a wake of exchange rate changes on
Yes,
this planet in order for them to play fair and equally with our dollar. And if they don't get a part of our economy. If you don't get a part of our economy, you will you will fold. The same thing with the BRICS. That's a good way to start it with that picture I showed you. They tried to separate themselves from the dollar, George. And look, it's going to backfire. I knew it. You knew it. We all knew it. In fact, they knew it, but they thought, "Oh, we can take advantage because Trump is or Biden is in charge, and the whole American government is going to heck. Yeah, let's take advantage and destroy the American dollar, and we can become the most powerful currency out there." Nope, not going to happen. No, all your currencies are horrible. Now continue, George. Continue.
okay. So I got the email and it had the number and another number under that, which identified me and my account and my status, which I need to get clarification on. All right, what really is my status in your eyes? So I called JP Morgan, and a very nice lady answered the phone and said, "I'm inquiring about the email you had sent me and the text early this week and one on last week, Friday." She said, "1 minute, sir." She came back and acknowledged my name. You want me to say my name, which I don't mind. She said, "Yes, Mr. Dale, could you verify the code number under the email that we sent you?" I read it off. She says, "Oh, yes." I mean, her tone changed like happy. I go, "Okay." I said, "I'm responding." And she says, "What we're going to be able to do here in next week, we would like to set up a meeting with you with our wealth management team, an
Really?
assessment meeting."
Okay.
I said, "Okay." Now, I said, "Great. Would you be calling me then?" He said, "Yes, we'll be texting you and calling you and set up a convenient time."
Good.
I said, "Well, thank you very much." I then immediately called my Chase contact,
Okay.
who's a little more free with me.
Yeah.
I didn't engage this JP Morgan person because they know what I have.
Okay.
So I called the Chase contact, and this is what I want to read exactly what I took the notes that I forwarded to you.
Okay.
Chase contact told me yesterday afternoon that they will call me for an appointment next week. I asked him, "Why next week?" Because I'm ready to go now. That's not in my notes, but I'm just adding that in there. And he said that most of the wealth management are in breakout sessions and attending new procedural classes on updated and procedures for international monetary business anticipated influx over the upcoming quarter.
That's the notes you. That's the notes you gave me, and I said to you, "Wait a minute. They are training for what?" Repeat it again, okay?
Okay, I'm going to read this again. This, like he was reading a script to me.
Yes, he was reading it to you. Didn't I tell you, George? Didn't I?
3 weeks ago when I did the first report, he said these people. He said, "Man, it's like they're like hen's teeth. There, you can't find them. They're out doing these meetings, and a lot of these meetings are off campus or off out of the bank."
I told you they were going to call you back. Anyway, so
yes, sir.
All right, so they're
Okay,
training.
so
they admitted it to you.
I'll read it again for the family.
Please read it again.
He says that most of the wealth management are in breakout sessions and attending new procedural classes on updated and procedures for international monetary business anticipated influx over the upcoming quarter. So now and probably the next quarter too. Also, this is for your information. I was when I told you about what Trump was doing with the rupiah. So, there's things happening.
Yeah.
And I asked him also on the phone call. I said, "Well, they know worth as far as what I do hold on international currencies. He says, oh, you better believe it. I says, well, what about the dinar? I can talk to him this way. He was, now this is where he doesn't talk dinar, other than he said, they've already acknowledged dinar, that there's activity. However, because it is, an unsecured, it's a speculative investment. He says, this is the word he used to me on the phone today. I'm sorry, today. He said, George, the dinar and other currencies are in transition. That's a new word you're using.
That's the perfect word. That's the perfect word right now. I like that. Thank you for introducing that to us.
And so then he said, George, he's volunteered and said, George, they're very interested in your holdings in the Vietnamese dong.
Yeah.
And so, because you can talk that way now, because it's a forex currency. It's a legitimate sovereign currency.
They're interested in your dong because it's ready to go. It doesn't have to be put in position. All the other ones are being put in. I'm sorry. You talk. Go ahead. I got to shut up.
No. You're right on, General. What you've been telling us, and like I told you over the years of our relationship, I've always been a student of the dong and the rupiah, and also the Venezuelan bolivar. I believe, now I don't have any way to validate any of this. They keep talking about a GCR. There's a word, and they throw it around. It's been going on now for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, a global currency reset. Well, that's happened in the past.
Yeah.
And who's to say that's not going to happen again? Yeah. I believe it. It's going to happen. However, we're dealing with what you've taught us and the reality of these other currencies, because Trump, the new sheriff in town, is demanding equal parity when it comes to the U.S. dollar and on the world stage when it comes to trade and commerce. He's not going to let America be taken advantage of. Sure. And bottom line is, he's giving some of these countries somewhere anywhere from 30 to 60 days. Yeah. If you don't play the game, we're not going to deal with you.
So, George, Trump is convincing me of a potential GCR, but I think it'll be scattered over a certain amount of time, not all at once.
No, I agree. Exactly.
I agree on a GCR. Trump has convinced me because I see the evidence of what he's doing, but it won't be an acute GCR. It'll be a chronic one over
individual nations when they come on board.
Yeah, right.
Like and I think they'll be announced individually as they come into play. Now, you've taught us, and there's been words that's always been out in the financial community. You've talked about a basket. Who knows what's in that basket? It's fluctuated. George, it could be as many as 120 countries.
George, can I suggest something to you in my opinion?
Please.
What's the basket require? For the market rate, a
true sovereign market value.
And that's going to be, and for the black market to disappear, right? To be absorbed into the official rate, correct?
That is correct. You want to eliminate that black market trade.
And that is a 1-to-1, right?
At a minimum.
And it'll become a what? A 1-to-1 what? It starts with a P.
Parity.
A pairing, a 1-to-1 pairing.
May I suggest
to you, in my opinion, yesterday, in my opinion only, the Iraqi dinar depegged from the American dollar yesterday.
Oh, wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I believe, brother, what you've been teaching us and what we're seeing happen, I think they're playing their cards close to the vest because of the Iranian corrupt influence that's still in that parliament, like you've been teaching us. Sudani's keeping them at arm's length. I think this thing they're saying, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be a year from now. I think they're doing that just like Kuwait did to keep these shysters off guard so they can't do any corrupt nonsense to cause a problem. And they're going to, one day we're going to wake up, it's going to happen. That's my opinion, like Kuwait did.
Yeah. Oh, man, I want to say so much. Hey, you spoke of the Venezuela Bolivar. That's also a good example of more of a chronic situation. I believe that they're willing to now look at their exchange rate and talk with President Trump. I believe their arrogant attitude is melting away, just like in China. And I strongly believe that Venezuela is going to come back on board once we get that government to pay attention to Trump. I mean, he's getting communist countries to pay attention to him, to work with him. He can get Venezuela, those stubborn idiots, to also stop selling your oil in the black market. Sell it legally, and you can make a good a profit with our dollar. We'll back you up, and that's what I think he's doing. And if he can get that worked out, oh my goodness, that's going to be great. Yesterday, the IMF opened their mouth, George. They made a big statement. They made a big statement, but the family didn't really. I mean, I tried my best to tell them what I thought it said. And today, I want to say what I've already told you. It's only in my opinion.
Of course,
let,
yes,
let
sir.
me let me put it this way. If I was a CBI, George, you know what I would do now, today, no later than tomorrow? I would depeg so that I can pair.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
and that's what I think is maybe is possible, is happening.
And another, sidebar comment or an observation is, and you mentioned it again yesterday, and of course, Sudani mentioned over a year ago that he will deliver on what he's told on a solemn oath to the Muslim community. That doesn't get delivered because he swore on Allah. That is a beheading offense. I mean,
Let me tell you something else besides that. Today, Chalet comes out on Iraqi television and he tries again to talk to the citizens, and in so many words, I'll read it later. But he tells the Iraqi citizens, "Yo, hey, yeah, you know what we got for you, with the banking reform. You know what we're doing for you with the currency, okay? And we would have done that with the black market, the official rate. All of that would have been done a long time ago if it wasn't for those idiots.
Yes, sir.
If it wasn't for Iran and what they were doing to us." And when I saw that, I told Eddie, I said, "Are you making this up? Did he really say that?" Mr. Frank, he said that exactly. Well, you know what he did, Eddie? He says, "What?" I said, "Eddie, in my opinion, he just admitted to you that there's a new exchange rate coming to you. It's just been held up. Hang in there."
Well, I think that they've had people say, "Well, why don't they just do it?" Well, you sit back and go, "What is the reason? The why? The big question mark." Well, we don't live over there. I've been fortunate to travel a lot in this world, and I've seen countries that they live and operate with corruption. Iran, people don't realize that before Saddam was in power, Iran and Iraq were at war all the time. They slaughtered in the tunes of billions of people. Warfare. And Saddam, unfortunately, even being a corrupt dictator, he was a stabilizing force in that region. Believe it or not, they were very prosperous. He kept Iran in check. Of course, and we'll leave the politics alone. What happened with his ousting, etc. That's another chapter. But now we had discord, and Iran. If it wasn't for the United States of America and this president we have now, I guarantee you, and anybody that's a student of the Middle East and foreign wars, Iran would attack Iraq.
Oh, of course.
I would stand on that because they want their oil.
Russia tried to attack America. So did China. So instead, they called it a Cold War. They sent all their punks across our border and they infiltrated our schools, our government, our businesses. They even bought our freaking farmland. Are you next to our military bases? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Things are changing.
They're definitely changing. George, I'm so proud.
Did I cover what you wanted me to talk about? Because I got excited there about the wording now, the transition of countries with currencies. They're in transition. That's a new nice word. Transition means what? Change. I mean, words have power. You taught us that. They have meaning.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And they last. Need to listen to what they say.
And they last in the universe forever once you say those words. He kept his promise. And he's going to keep his promise to Donnie and Chalet, everybody that's out there. They're doing a good job. I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening this month. I don't have any date. I don't have any rate. All I know is that the progress is amazing. And if they depegged from the American dollar, or if that's the next logical thing to do, then they're in position to pair, and that means that they're in position to float. And if they float, I don't care if they float at $1. It doesn't have to be at the RV. It can just start at $1 if they want. Although it would be really stupid, George. What a waste of time.
I get it. Yes, sir.
What a waste of time. Start out there at 3 or 4 plus. Let's get going. We got a lot of work to do. Anyways, I'm proud of you. And any final words, brother?
No, I'm just excited. God bless you and Tink and the staff and the whole KTFA family. I tell you, be ready, be ready. We're about ready to do a lot of work for God's kingdom. And I believe, the word says the wealth of the wicked has been stored up for the righteous. And I think that's the time for a season is now. And I think it's coming upon us. Yeah, just stay before the Lord like you teach us, brother, in prayer. And
Stay in prayer.
I always said the word, Proverbs 3, 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, but in all ways acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. I think we have a mission for a time such as this, and I'm excited to be part of your team and upward and onward.
Thank you, my dear brother. These were evil people that for generations, for decades, did not want Iraq to achieve its full potential. These evil people, in my faith and my belief, they will burn in hell, but never die.
Well, the one thing that you said, another thought just crossed my mind I wanted to share too, is also Sudani definitely is no dummy. I mean, he's had to walk a tightrope because we know that the Sunni and the Shia factions, they're at each other's throats.
That's why I defend
Iraq
Sudani.
is more Shia than Sunni, so we got to watch that radicalism side.
Yes.
Sudani is playing it properly because he's been letting out, like you've been telling us, through the media and newspapers that have been kind of taken over a little bit by the real government, Sudani's government, that he's letting the Iraqi people know names and amounts of all the parliament players and the people that were Iranian backed crooks within the government. Brother, it's going to be a bloodbath because the Iranian people are knowing how big they have been screwed for decades.
He's doing more things. But I can. It's not best to talk about it. But it's all.
I understand, and you're right. And the Maliki story, I can't wait to hear
that's
what's
a good
happening
one.
there, so we know
that story's over with. But Maliki's story will eventually be told.
Exactly. Did I cover what you needed me to mention, brother? I get excited about this because I adhere to what you say. I go about what you ask me to do. And I pray about it and get out there, and the Lord lays these facts out through these people because I have a relationship with them. I don't go in there and try to act like, I know more about this than you do, and just establish a relationship, a rapport. And then all of a sudden, man, they're like spigots. You just turn the spigot on and sit back and watch them talk to you.
George,
but they will not yet talk about the dinar, like you said, because it is not a sovereign currency yet. It's a speculative investment. But they'll sing like a canary to some of you about when it comes to the dong. And
the way they're talking to you about the other currencies is the way they want to talk to you about the dinar, but no. And it's not what is it? Non-disclosure agreement. No, it's not that. It's just simply that's the law. That's the banking law.
Exactly. They can't talk about something that's speculative because they don't want to go on record and say something that doesn't happen. They're opening themselves up to be liable.
Indeed. Thank you, George. And get back with me because they're going to call you again very soon.
I will. You'll be the first call. As soon as they hang up with me, you're going to get called there in Aloha, Hawaii.
Thank you, my friend. I look forward. You know what? I look forward to meeting you very soon. Take care, brother.
God bless. Thank you, sir. Blessings to you and Tank.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, what do you think, family? There's a lot of activity, and I know that for those of you that say, "Oh, that doesn't happen to me. I don't get lucky at a bank like that." Don't worry about it. It's not like we're making this stuff up. Alrighty. Okay, one more. As I promised you, another one. Let me see. 6. Where's 6? Oh my word! I did about 80, 90 calls today. Wow. There he is, finally. Yeah, that's it. This will be a shorter one, family. a friend of mine by the name of Kevin wants to give you an update on something that you experienced.
Hey, Mr. Frank.
Hey, Kevin, give us an update because you've been helping us with it's Chase Bank, correct?
Well, I actually, okay, I'm behind you on, I guess, Frank, you got me on video.
Turn down the volume because I can hear me in the back.
Gotcha, my friend. Okay, so I've been working with JP Morgan Chase, private wealth manager, who is also a vice president in charge of investments.
Right.
You know, and I've received various emails that start on the 17th, on the up until the 26th, and then on 28th, the man called me, introduced himself. He was with JP Morgan Wealth Managers and wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with me, which surprised me. I've never tried to contact him. So we set up a time and date for the meeting. And as you know, it was this Monday, the 14th. It was wherever I would like to go. So I went to the meeting. And to my surprise, I not only met with JP Morgan Wealth Manager, they also had a Chase man there who is also a vice president in consumer banking.
Yeah, that's nice.
We met for about 45 minutes to an hour, talked about different investments, what we could do, what they could do for me. And remember, I only have $800 in the Chase account.
Well, right now.
And I got two vice presidents meeting with me, Chase and JP Morgan.
Now, did you ever bring up the subject of the dinar with them?
I did on the telephone, and that was on the 30th of June, and they said, we're sorry, we cannot discuss that over the phone.
And that was that's the part I like, Kevin, because your story was one in which, oh man, we know what's going on, but we can't talk about it. So,
that's right.
So why don't you just
not yet.
So why don't you just come in here so we can talk to you about everything else? That we can prepare for you, okay? And that's where you're at right now.
Yes, that's where we're at.
Now,
so anyway,
go ahead,
Frank.
No. Well, I was going to say, is there another follow-up meeting, or is there more to this meeting that you can share with us?
Well, I mean, I either receive emails from JP Morgan Chase, or I receive a call from one of the two men daily. Daily, since the 30th of June.
I'm sorry, repeat. I was dealing with something. Say that again.
Oh, that's okay. I said, since I talked to the JP Morgan Wealth Manager on June the 30th at 9:52 on Monday morning, I've received emails. I've received telephone calls, personal, wanting to make sure that I did receive the emails and do I have any questions so I understand how they work together.
They're just following up, and they don't want to distance themselves from you. They want to have if they could have a daily contact, they would, but they're having a weekly contact. Maybe more than once a week, right?
Daily.
Oh, daily now. I don't blame them.
Daily.
You know how much I know you told them how many. Don't say it on this call, but I mean, I'd want you. I think I even asked you. Can you? I think I remember I asked you. I said, "Can you adopt me?" And you laughed.
Yes, I know. But we talked about local banking. I said, what aggravates me is I said, for me to call one of my local banks, which I have money in or business with, I said they had to send me to a call center. Chase guy stood up, vice president said, sir, that will never happen with us.
Good.
Each one of them gave me their personal office line, each one of them, vice presidents, JP Morgan and Chase, and they also gave me their cell phone numbers.
So this is on a daily basis now, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's on a daily basis, every day. Updates every day.
So tomorrow, brother, can you do me a favor and ask them, what is your opinion about the IMF? I believe that they have allowed the Iraqi dinar to depeg, make sure you say depeg, from the American dollar. Do you have that in your data bank, your information? Okay, see what they say, because if they admit that they know that, for the love of root beer floats, they know exactly what the next step is for the Iraqi dinar. It is about to float. That's it. To reach the rear.
Kind of winked me a couple different times, whenever we were discussing this for our 45-minute, hour-long meeting.
He winked at you?
Yeah, they know. They know what I've got. That's how they contacted me.
No, seriously, can you adopt me?
Yeah. I'd rather you adopt me. I'd rather go move to Hawaii, my friend.
Yeah, but you're gonna be a back. No, you're gonna be a nation, from what I know. No. Thank you, my friend.
Oh,
Hey, get
Frank.
back with me and let me know what they
Let,
say.
let me
Okay.
tell you, God has been wonderful to me in my life, and that's what I intend to do.
You know, that's an interesting statement. You've been good to God. God has
Yes.
been good to you.
Yes,
I,
God has been
I,
very
I, I,
gracious and wonderful to me, and
I believe
I'll never forget that.
I believe that God trusts you with this money.
You put
Congra-
God first, my friend. God is
Congratulations.
always first.
I'll talk to you in the future, Kevin. Thank you, sir. Okay.
See you, buddy.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, family. So those are the two bank stories that I wanted to share with you. Now, there is a report that I'd like to share from Eddie. Eh, Look, I'll read it as fast as I can because I've been with you so long already. I don't want you to get tired of me. Or I don't, maybe not tired. I don't want you to get bored. Well, maybe not bored. I don't want you to get, I don't know. Whatever it is, I don't know. Let me find a place where I can start. God, look at all this. All of this belongs to you, family, but we've been with you too long. No, no, that's about the HCL. That HCL is cooking. um, no, no. Oh, that's about a fire. Remind me to tell you about that. Okay, how about last night? Premium Club 26, 3 o'clock in the morning. I came in, boom, 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 boom. I bombarded you with a lot of information, and I'm going to roughly cover it here. So let's start with yesterday, late in 8:30 in the evening. I wasn't with you, and here's what we put in. And here's what we put in our farm in Club 26. Some of you may say, well, why are you reading it if it's in Club 26 and in premium? Because I don't leave anyone behind. Well, then why did you put it in there last night? Because I've learned that my KTFA family wants information that is, what's the word I'm looking for? That is instant, that is timelined, time stamped, that is current enough, that is not in an article yet, that is of value and important for the next day. There you go. Alrighty, television is showing that we have 7 drones that had just attacked the Kurdistan oil fields, Mr. Frank. Now, Sudani knows about it and he knows who's doing it. And it's all done to try and to hurt the process of the oil deal that we now have established and agreed upon with Kurdistan. He's opening up committees to investigate this. However, we all know it's Iran's hand. And 2 days in a row now, the parallel market is at 1397. So that's great news. The market de facto from 1400, and it is so close to our 1310. We're headed in the right direction. You know what the IMF, and we don't want to talk about that because I gave you an opinion. Throw that away. Next report today, 4:13 in the morning. Our first report from today. Television is showing Sudani agreeing with agreement and signing an agreement, agreeing to pay the salaries for the Kurdistan region, who have missed almost 3 months of pay. This is now on television live. They are about to do this, sir. Television is also saying Iraq government is releasing funds to the Kurdistan region now for servant and for the last 3 years. Oh, excuse me, and for the last 3 months. I'm sorry, for the last 3 months. All right, so that's the pay, and it's coming out guaranteed. Yeah, that's good. All right, Barzani's on TV now, and he's saying that they welcome the agreement with Baghdad. There's no problems. There will be no delays, and he's saying that he is glad and now awaits the arrival of the salaries. Next report. The Council of Ministers is saying that the May salaries will be paid right away, and the June salaries will be paid in the coming days. Well, okay, this is all good. This is very good. Economic and disciplinary actions by the CBI has been the CBI's perfect job. We are being told that the CBI has security and stability back in our country into our banking structure. They have done the perfect job. I like that. The perfect job. TV is saying this new agreement may pave the way for the oil and gas law to be passed. Eddie is just so desperate. And when he read that, he goes, bingo, bingo, oh, God, bingo. Yeah, I told you, Eddie, you already got the HCL. Somebody sent me a text today and said, oh, praise the Lord, the HCL, it's passed a long time ago. And you say to me, oh, yeah, Frank, you say something like that. You don't understand. It was approved and accepted and passed a long time ago. It wasn't initiated because we're waiting for the new exchange rate. I can't wait till this is over with. Oh, you won't have to deal with me anymore. I'll miss you. I'll miss you. Will you miss me? Bingo. That is the key all along. It's been the key all along. Yeah, it's been the key all this time, man. Get us the oil and get the HCL. Yeah, I know, Eddie. Next report. Now, this is interesting. This is what I was telling George earlier that you heard me talk to him about. Hey, Chalet is back on TV. Chalet talked about 4 times today, but this is the one I want to tell you about. So, Chalet's back on TV. Guess what? What? He's talking about the great job that the CBI has done. And he says that our parallel market, shoot, it would have been already done. It would have already been equal to the official exchange rate of the CBI. If not, if not for the tensions in the region, with Iran, which caused a jump just recently. It took it to 142,000, Mr. Frank. However, the CBI has done a perfect job. And the CBI has all of this under control, and the black market is narrowing back down. Oh, I pray to God you understand how powerful this is. Oh my goodness, that's what George and I were talking about. You were privy to be in a conversation that you probably shouldn't have been involved in, with George and I. But anyway, so I told him, I said, slowly but surely, gentlemen, the black market is disappearing, isn't it? Yeah. And as it disappears, we approach the one-to-one relationship with the American dollar, which will lead you into a float. The float is the part that I'm excited about because the whole world right now wants the dinar. Every market, every board, everybody wants it. FX wants it. Everybody wants it. Yeah. You want it. I laugh at him. You want it. He says, we sure do. Yeah, and you're right, sir. The black market is disappearing. Also, Frank Chalet would already be at level. Oh yeah, yeah. So Frank, Chalet. So Eddie's reiterating what I'm excited about. The Chalet comes out and he tells him, Chalet said we would already be at that level, but the tensions in the region delayed it. Delayed it. Some. It delayed it. Well, it delayed what? The new exchange rate, man. The purchasing power that we promised you. To which I said to him, I agree 100%, man. I agree 100%. Look, if they give you the gas and oil, the HCL, you have a new exchange rate. Now, as far as the salaries go, do you have a new exchange rate? I don't know that. But I can tell you, if you got the HCL, you have a new exchange rate. Now, as far as the salaries, they could still be at 1310 because they were for the months before. I don't know, Eddie. Now, whatever it will be, now whether it will be exposed or not is a different story. But to be honest with you, if they pass the gas and oil, the HCL, I believe it has no choice but to expose 12-2C in your budget. And the beautiful thing that happened today is that your Chalet comes out on your television and he tells you, Chalet comes out today and he tells you the truth. He tells you the truth. He says, man, dog, man, you, man, we would have been there a long time ago. With the parallel rate and the official rate, man. Well, the purchasing power, things we brought, the monetary reform, everything which HCL, all of it, man. He didn't say man, but I did. I did. That was a solid yellow bird. Holy cow! Thank you. And the beautiful thing that happened today, gentlemen, is that Chalet comes out and he tells you the truth. He says, man, we would have been at 1-1 a long time ago. You guys would have had purchasing power a long time ago if it wasn't for the BS of Iran. Thank God we got the United States Treasury and Trump pushing this now. Man, we could have. We by now, oh man. But it's Iran. But we got rid of the cockroaches. We got security and stability. Man, it's a good thing that we got Donald Trump pushing this now. Uh, and I said that. It's a good thing we have Donald Trump pushing this now, Eddie. Uh, I know he didn't say those exact words that I just said, man, laughing out loud. But I'll bet you a nickel. I'll bet you a nickel that that's what's in Chalet's heart. Man, you see, Chalet knows the truth. He knows the truth about your new exchange rate. Chalet knows the truth, and he comes out and he tells you, man, you could have had all of this by now if it wasn't for all of this Iranian influential garbage. They're the ones that caused all the delay. You could have had your new exchange rate. Your new exchange rate is coming because he himself, Eddie, is admitting you could have had this a long time ago. If it wasn't for the thievery of Iran, the evil of that country that tortured Iraq for decades, but no more. And never again. By the way, I agree 100%, gentlemen. The CBI and the board of directors have done the perfect job. This is the perfect storm, the perfect monetary reform, because they followed every step that the United States Treasury told them to do, and now they follow Trump. If not, they would still be lost sheeps at the CBI with no new exchange rate coming out. It would have been the same old, same old. Thank God for Trump. Thank God for Sudani. Hey, gentlemen, with the black market at 1397 to 1395, it's encouraging because that gap is soon to become 1-1. Mark my words. Hey, also, by the way, pray. I need information. There was about 70 people that were killed in Cut. It was in Cut City. I believe it was a mall. Find out what you can. He's checking. We're not seeing anything on television yet about that, but we're looking it up. Yet. Also, Chalet says next month a new strategy will be released to deal with poverty. Chalet, are you running out of ways to tell the family that they're, or should to tell your family, your Iraqi citizens, that you are about to receive purchasing power for your currency? Are you running out of ways of telling them? But this one's nice. No, I like this one. Chalet has just told us that next month a new strategy will be released to deal with poverty. Look, there's only the only strategy to counter poverty is finances. I suppose you could say food, but no, 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 no. Finances that would bring you the food first. You wouldn't want the food. I mean, uh, unless you sold the food, then you bring in finances, but then you're back to square one. So poverty, huh? Look, the only way to get rid of poverty is to smother it with capital gains, with income, with money. Poverty, huh? And it's a new strategy, huh? New strategy, Chalet. That's a new way of putting it. I don't know if I even showed it to you, but there it is. To which I say, or there's more. Hey, Frank, Eddie says it's a new mall that just opened up a week ago. They had a massive fire. It killed about 60, 70 people in there. And we now have 3 days of mourning here. This was in the city of Kut City, Kut City, Kut City. It's in the Kurdistan region. Hmm. They don't know how the fire started, but it will be investigated. I told him, I said, thank you, copy. And I said, you know what? Chalet's on fire, man. Chalet's on fire. Yeah, Frank, we agree. And by the way, this mall, brand new mall, was massive. It was only open for 1 week before the fire uh, tragedy, copy, I said. And by the way, I told him, I tell you, family, pray for these people. At our Bible study with Pastor Kendall today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, we talked about this, that we need to pray for these people. It's so sad. Eddie said it was only open for 1 week. Copy that. I say to him, hey, guys, so Chalet says that it's a new strategy to counter poverty. You need money for that, right? A new strategy, huh? You know what I think he's trying to tell you? A new exchange rate. And he says, well, we hope that it's not buy one and get two free, but rather the real exchange rate. Oh, Eddie, you're trying to, oh, bless your little heart. You're like the guy that's having a nightmare and you're trying to wake up out of it by forcing yourself to have a good dream. The nightmare is almost over with, Eddie. You're going to become a leader on this planet in the Middle East. You might become my partner. I'm going to stop. My wife is getting tired. I'm getting tired. I think we've been with you more than I should. How long does it say?
An hour and 3 seconds.
An hour only. Oh, well, let's spend another hour with them. Not. You have any questions, Tink?
What are we going to show them?
Oh, what are we going to show them? I hope you enjoyed your UB2B family. It was a good study, huh? Every one of them just gets better and better and better and better and better. Chalet, what? You're running out of ways of telling them they're going to get purchasing power? Nope. I know you're not. That was a good one. What was new strategy? Okay. You mean new exchange rate? Yeah. Okay. Isn't that a better strategy than 1310? Oh, yeah. Are you going to do it, Chalet? Frank, what are you blind? Look around you, man. So, anyways, I'm done with the Iraqi dinar. Thank you kindly for being with me. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about it again. And for those of you that stick around for Aloha, I showed you a shark. Did you see it? Wow. That sucker is like about, what do you think? It was a 15 footer?
It said they didn't measure it, but it could be 18 foot.
18 feet? Yeah, it looked about right. It was longer than me. I remember one time I did a dive 110 feet off of Waikiki. We were exploring a wreck, and our dive master takes his knife out of his case in his ankle, and he taps his tank, but it's a certain a number, a certain code. It's DDDDD, DDDDD. And when we were down there, and you're down there, the pressure is really great at 110 feet, and we hear that DDDDD, it travels really far in the ocean, right? And all of us, I mean, there was like about 12 of us down there, and all these bubbles. You can see everybody's head all at once go boom. We knew that it was to the right, and we knew that it was a shark, and we knew we had to be aware of it. So everybody goes, "What?" And there it was. Probably like from here, about, maybe 50 yards away from me to where those tables are at over there. And it was a tiger shark, and he was blowing bubbles under this massive coral formation. By blowing bubbles underneath it, it caused the fish to get out, and he would go, he'd go up and eat them. Yeah, they're clever. They're predators. But anyways, it was at a harbor. But what? But that's not what I'm going to show you. I want to show you a mangrove. Mangroves are very interesting trees because they can survive in brackish water, salt water, fresh water. They have the ability to filter out salt. You'll see the salt build up on the roots. But this tree shoots out many roots. It doesn't count on one, it shoots out many of them because of what it's doing, the complex filtration system. By having as many roots shoot out, then you have more water that's filtered out. If you have one, two, three of them, that tree might die because it's a hard process to remove the salt for the plant just to have fresh water. These are called mangroves. Last year, I found about 100 mangrove seeds. They're about this long, got a little leaf on the top, and a pointed bottom. For you Hawaiians, you know what I'm talking about. And I gathered them all up. I put them in a towel. I dried them up. I put them in my suitcase, and I got them home. But what happened was when I got them home, I put them in my solution, my fertilizer. I have lava rock, powder. I grind it up. I throw it in there because it has a lot of iron elements and minerals that the plant likes, and sand. So that combination was for mine, and my mangroves. Well, they're almost the size of what you're about to see. Would you come and join my wife and I as we go and show you a mangrove tree and how it works? In fact, you may be able to see some fish. Come, let's have fun. Thank you kindly for joining me for the Iraqi dinar study. We are done. And now we go see some mangrove trees. Let's go on this side, babe.
Okay.
Oh, I think you can see. Wow, contaminated, huh?
It
Isn't
says
that
no
something?
fishing over there.
Yeah, they don't want the locals.
Navy
The locals,
property.
yeah, this is all Navy property. I know why they're saying that. I know why they're saying it. I don't want to say it on this UB2. Isn't that beautiful? Look how crystal clear that water is. There's fish in there. There's tangs. That's about the only fish I see right now is a tang. But anyways, family, I want to show you the mangrove. Come over here with me.
Nope, you're dropping stuff.
Oh no, valuable stuff. Thanks, sweetie.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. Can you show them this bed? This is a mangrove. Cool, huh? And you can see that it's got roots, the first primary roots, it goes all the way on the surface. Then you have secondary, tertiary, quaternary roots that branch off, and they go deep, trying to embed themselves into the sand, and they drink water. And the filtration system in those long tubes spits out the salt. You can actually see the salt at the very, very bottom of it. Pretty cool. This is another mangrove structure over here. And these are the best examples. I can't jump the fence, can I?
No, unless you want to get arrested,
No, I don't want to get arrested.
then don't jump the fence.
I'd like to get searched. Do you want to search me? Look, honey, I don't know if you can zoom in on those guys right there. You know what I'm talking about, right? You see the chutes?
Mm-hmm.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them right there. My wife is zooming in on the ones that I told you. I found those long, skinny shoots with the little leaves up on top like that, and the pointed. So the pointy part, you stick it in the sand, and they grew. They grew in my greenhouse. I got mangroves that are growing about half the size in my greenhouse, and then on top of that, I put about a dozen of them in my saltwater tank, and sure enough, they grew. Look, honey, can you see the fish? There's fish right there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see them, but it's down there. But you don't want to eat these fish. This is actually the far right hand side of Pearl Harbor. If you look over there, there's the flotation bridge. And over in that direction, there, oh, there it is. There's the flotation bridge. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, you can see the top of Mo, USS Missouri. You see it way up on there?
Mm-hmm.
You can see the crow's nest, the tower of it. You know, Jan, we should go to the USS Missouri. We should do a UB2B there, sweetheart. Yeah. Everybody walks around with their cameras, and it's outdoors. I don't think that they block the Wi-Fi there. Yeah. Anyways, here, let me call them and see. Hey, you guys open right now? No. All right, never mind. I got this shoe from what's his name? Get Smart.
Max.
Maxwell
Maxwell Smart.
Maxwell Smart. I mean, do you understand what's going on? Do you understand my opinion that maybe it's possible if I was a CBI, if the IMF yesterday did something, then maybe today or tomorrow, then then I think the title of a UB2B is appropriate. God bless you all. Take care.